What is going on, X Community, XS Not Beer? And today, people, we're going to be doing the week number 4 Mega Aggron Pickems. And joining me, just like last time, it's going to be DDA.
Hello.
So, looking at the scores, we're actually very close. You were ahead by 1 last week. I'm ahead by 1 this week, so pretty close.
Only because I took that risk. Which I did say out loud that it was gonna be a risky play, but I had to make things interesting. Because if I just play safe the entire time, I'm just gonna keep my 1-point lead, and that's not fun. I want to make it interesting. Because if I get it right, it would be great.
I mean, to be fair, we'd be tied if you didn't.
Well, if I got it right, actually, I would still be ahead by 1. Because instead of losing 1, I would be ahead by 2.
Well,
so I would negate, so I'd be ahead by 1.
I think I guess I was mainly talking about like the lock. Like if you lock on someone else, actually, if you've locked on someone else, yeah. I guess.
Regardless of how the math works out, I would still be ahead by my 1. Because you got your lock correctly. Because there was no way I was losing that game.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, good job sabotaging, so you would get a perfect score.
Listen, I did not. Do not put that in the universe. People gotta believe that. I did not do that.
You heard it here, guys.
That game was strictly... Anyways, let's move on to the next tier. We got... Oh, hey, it's me versus Crim. Okay, first things first. I want to say this before we say anything. I am not going to talk much on this game because I already built, so I can talk a little bit about...
You already built?
Oh, yeah. I'm built for, like, every one of my leagues. I got really bored.
Yikes.
So yeah, I could talk a little bit about Crim's team if you want to talk about my team.
Yeah, sure. You can talk about Crim's first. Also, for those who are watching and that weren't paying attention to like teams dropping, Lucas was in like a million different leagues, and he was couldn't keep up with any of them, so he mass dropped in a bunch of leagues. He dropped in every single league that I had him in. I don't know how many he dropped in. He could have dropped everything, but that does mean that Crim 50 picked up his team and made some changes, which some are good, some are bad. But specifically, he dropped a couple mods that really made 2 teams a lot better. One of them being Excess, which, for the record, I helped to build.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll go over that in a bit. But I do want to say, the reason wasn't necessarily that for Lucas. It was that I could actually bring up the DM. Not.
Oh, did he say something different to you? Because I remember, from what I know, he was in a million different leagues, and he's been mass dropping from them. Because he's dropped in this league, and then I know he dropped in another league I'm in.
Yeah. So the reason is because where Lucas is, it's under a state of emergency, and they're experiencing a ton of flooding. So he's going to be offline for an indefinite amount of time. So he just said, "I'm dropping from like everything." So.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. Oh, is Australia having rough times? Oh well, sorry for you guys.
Yeah, so it didn't drop for that reason. It's just, which I understand. Like, you know,
yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where there's a good chance he would have dropped anyway.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I know from what that he's been having a really bad struggle keeping up. But that is definitely a better reason.
Mm-hmm.
So good for him. Pokemon does not matter nearly that much.
Yeah.
You do you.
But yeah, so looking at Crim's team here, the first thing that I noticed when I plugged it in was I noticed that it's pretty weak to fighting and ground. They were in the red, so take that as you will. The next thing I noticed was that well, Jolteon is really annoying for my team. Like, I have a few mons, but like if it's ice or whatever, it's extremely annoying.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, Terra Ice is just free against you because you have 2 ground immunities, obviously, in both Kilowattrel and Sandaconda, but they're both weak to ice, so that's not good.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna want to Terra Quacks just to counter Jolteon. So I almost feel like you're forced into this awkward situation where you have to go defensive Terra Cloister, and set up on Jolteon because it's your only switch in. Obviously, it's going to be annoying, but it might work.
Hold
Yeah, who
up.
knows?
Quaxwell? Terra Quaxwell?
Okay.
I can
Why
just
would you tear a
go.
Quaxwell?
Because if I go. If I go Spadef, I could eat hits from Jolteon and, Terra
Okay.
Blast ground. I'll be ground type.
Ah, I see. You'll still die to the Terra Ice.
No, 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 no. See, I eat it and then I Terra Blast and they die.
Got it, got it. So you do realize that this Jolteon's going to click Calm Mind on you, right?
That's fine because all I gotta do is click it once, my physical Terra Blast, and then I just awkward. Oh, I'm getting
Oh,
way too
you're
much.
physical. Oh, you're physical.
See, I'm physical, but I'm Spadef. See, that's what it is.
I see. Well, either way, for this hypothetical version of what you're going to do here,
Right.
Crim's team does have a glaring weakness in where it does not have any real physical threats. Donphan and Tauros can be physical threats, obviously. Donphan, though, however, on this team feels more like a facilitator. It's, Donphan and Orthworm is his only rockers, and Donphan is probably just better most of the time because it can also remove. It's also got knockoff. It's basically this team's equivalent of the utility because this team doesn't have a lot of utility users. So I feel like Donphan would kind of take that mantle of being the knockoff. Like, honestly, knockoff Ice Shard, Rapid Spin, and Earthquake, and then Earthworm's your rocker. Sounds like a pretty good set. Tauros is a little annoying, but you do have Zoroark, so most of what Tauros could do, he has to predict it who's what, and then Klefki comes in, so that's not going to do too much. Yeah. Yeah, that Jolteon's going to be the biggest problem for you because nothing on your team can outspeed it unless it's Scarf. And your main answers for this Jolteon are special, which aside from maybe Decidueye and or Sandaconda, so it's going to be awkward trying to break it after Calm Minds. It's going to be interesting. Beforehand, when you said he does have a ground and fighting weakness, he does actually have some good answers for that. Specifically, ground. Earthworm just straight up is immune to ground.
Mm-hmm.
So that helps. Also, Jolteon isn't forced to Terra Ice here. He could also go to something like Terra Flying, because Terra Flying would also negate Sandaconda and Decidueye altogether. And he could try to just brute force through with Calm Minds, because Kilowattra wouldn't really be able to break him after Calm Minds, nor would Zoroark probably. So he could just go Terra Flying as well. I don't think he's forced to Terra Ice in the slightest. I don't see what Leafeon does here. I don't think it comes. Houndoom, he might have to bring Houndoom just to be a Typhlosion or Eruption switch-in, given that his only true switch-in to that is Dragalge, which Dragalge takes it fairly well, but Typhlosion does have Earthquake, so he can predict some things. Either way, I don't think it's going to be clean from either one of you. It's really just going to depend on your prepped for which Jolteon comes, and the rest of the tricks that he has in his sleeve. Because I can also see Toxic Spikes from Dragalge being a problem for you, because you don't really have a consistent way of getting rid of that. Yeah, so what can you say? Or have you said already all what you can?
Well, instead, yeah, it's basically, I can't go over too much. Well, you kind of hit the other stuff, but I can talk about my changes that might.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's talk about the changes to your team, because that's something you can talk about.
Yeah. So, I dropped probably the two mons that I really couldn't fit on many teams, which was Masquerain and Grafaiai. Grafaiai fit kind of the same, it fit the same like speed tier, and obviously it's a normal type as Zoroark, and then Masquerain I was never. I was thinking about it, and like, when am I gonna set up both the Light Screens, spikes, webs, rocks? Like, there's no way I'm setting up literally everything, and I'm never clicking webs.
Too much setup. Yeah, you had too much setup.
Yeah, so I was like, this is fine. I'll drop this. We were talking, and you wanted Typhlosion. You wanted Zoroark, but I was thinking about it too. I'll give you Typhlosion. We'll just trade Typhlosion. So we traded that, and yeah, I think both of our teams came out really well here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I obviously like behind the scenes we messed around with team ideas. I even had some really crazy ones. But overall, before like even the draft finish ended, I bugged him about taking my Typhlosion because I wanted the original Hisuian Typhlosion. But so I ended up getting the normal when he sniped it from me right before I got it. Um, it ended up working out because Spirit Tomb just happens to be the fucking goat. But I still wanted his Hisuian Typhlosion. It just hits harder. It's slightly slower, but the difference of 5 points doesn't really matter when it's usually scarfed anyway. And obviously, specs is still specs, and it hits hard. But having that extra 10 points, I think maybe even more in special tech, and getting a second stab is really nice. Plus, Frisk is a little bit better utility of an ability than Flash Fire is. Yeah, I lose a fire immunity, but my team wasn't really fire weak in the first place, and it never really necessary.
Well, yeah.
So
See,
having a secondary Frisker is also really nice.
that's the thing that like kind of, if you look at your team wasn't really weak to fire, whereas mine is. So me having a flash fire is actually better for me. So I think both of our changes
Mhm.
definitely like worked really well. And
Definitely didn't have to convince you to keep that potion.
well, yeah, I was. There's a few issues. I don't want to talk too much about my team because we've already been here for a while, but um, let's just say that
It worked out.
yeah, it definitely worked out. But yeah, let's go on to
Um,
the next team, right? Oh
Before we go
wait,
to the
wait,
next team, we should probably actually predict what's gonna happen here.
yeah. I,
You go first because I already know.
oh man, I
What else
gotta
do
put
you need?
myself down as a 5-0.
You think you're gonna get a 5-0 in this game?
I hope so.
I would be very impressed if that was what would happen. I think the complete opposite. I think this is going to be a very messy game.
Oh no.
I still think you'll win.
Okay.
And the only reason I'm going to say I think you win is because I have a feeling that I know what you have prepped,
Oh
and
no.
if I was Krim, it would be really hard to counter without risking losing to standard. So I will say you, but I'm going to say 2-0. It will not be Krim.
Okay, you know what? After this, just DM me what 6 you think I'm bringing, and I'll tell you.
Okay.
All right. So
All right.
let's go on to the next one here. It's Darkcrafter versus Queen. Okay, so they both came from BBDL, so this is kind of like a nice match here.
Yes. This is awkward because I voted against Starcrafters once, and I still think he's like one of the most consistent teams. I voted against him once just because I wanted to be spicy. I'm not making that mistake again.
Yeah.
Until I first him, then I have to. But that's not until the last week. So let's see. Matchup wise, Queen's team does not really have secondary answers if the team has good defensive answers. Let's see. Darkcrafter doesn't have like a clear answer to Glade. That is probably the biggest downside of this team so far, is that he doesn't just have a this is my Glade answer. I know what he should do, and that's is either Sandy Shocks or Kamala should be Terra Ghost. I would lean towards Sandy Shocks. I think Terra Ghost Sandy Shocks literally just wins this game. I don't think literally anything Queen can do can counter that. I think Double Stab, Terra Blast, and maybe Flash Cannon to hit Flogus a little bit harder, and that's really all you need. I don't see a switch in.
Yeah.
Period. For the rest of the Mons, Mousehold, once again, doesn't do much if the team has a single Mon that can run Rocky Helmet or a Ghost type, because Mousehold really only has Bite to hit Ghost types, and if it's a bulky Ghost type, it literally is not going to do much, especially ones with Willow. So Ghost type Sandy Shocks after its Terra makes Mousehold kind of just useless as well. So that's rough. Brongzong could still run him if he wants. Other things like that. what can Gallade do here? City Sharks has to Terra early to be a Glade switch in. And I think Gallade should run either knockoff or Night Slash this time. Because both would still be in a Dark Rifter's team. So it's not like the freest switch in, but Queen does have to go more coverage. She can't go setup on Gallade. I do think Scarf looks really nice here though. Scarf double stab with either knockoff or Night Slash, and then like Leaf Blade to hit Vaporeon. Like I think that pretty much covers the Dark Raptors team. So this is really just going to be a game of if Queen can win. The only way Queen can win is if Dark Raptor doesn't go Ghost Terra, or he throws his Terra away for whatever reason. Because Dark Raptor doesn't have a true switch into Glen. Nothing fully resists and can take the damage at the same time.
That's true. Oh, Vaporeon.
Leaf Blade Sharpness doesn't matter.
Rotom.
Rotom Psycho Cut Sharpness.
It eats. It
even
eats.
defensive.
No. It eats. It eats.
It gets too good by defensive.
All right. Well, yeah. I think both teams have the top tier threats. It just depends on how they're played this match. And did we? I don't even think we went over Magneton. Magneton actually isn't bad here either.
Yeah, it can trap Bronzong because Bronzong doesn't have a way to beat it. However, Earthquake on Bronzong is a thing, so Magneton probably will be going Terra Flying to live.
Nah.
But the problem is that Magneton doesn't really have a way to break Bronzong, so that means he has to go an offensive Terra to break Bronzong. So maybe Terra Dark here. Maybe that's the play. Terra
Maybe.
Dark, Magneton, Magnapole.
Yeah, because then if Sandy Sharks does go Ghost, you could have Dark there.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Honestly, I think that is the only idea.
But then Body Press Bronzong.
Yeah, Body Press would be a problem. And by the way, my calc earlier on Psycho Cut to do tube going, it does with Life Orb.
Okay.
Or with like Psychic Plate. What is the plate for Psychics? It's like what is the plate for Psychics? I don't remember off the top of my head. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But
yeah,
the one that boosts it by like 20% or whatever.
I actually don't think Magneton should be Magnapole. I think it's so free. Once Sandy Shocks Terras, it's so free to just click like electric moves here. You could just go analytic and Volt switch out constantly if it does Terra, which Sandy Shock should eventually Terra, and once that happens, Magnezone could just zoom around.
Oh. I don't know. Because, like... Does Bronzong not just eat that up, though?
It switches in, it gets hit, depending... I mean, if it's analytic, it gets hit, again, depending on, like, if it's Specs or Scarf, probably Scarf, but let's
also,
say
isn't Bronzong slower than Magneton? Hang on, I need to know this.
Why does it
Who is slower? Oh, yeah, fucking Magneton is a 70 base speed.
Yeah.
Why are we thinking this man is that slow?
I didn't think it was slow.
Yeah, but, like, analytic only works if you go second.
Right, so switches count, though.
Okay.
So if they switch...
So he hits harder on the first hit.
Yeah, so I'm saying all you have to do is click Volt Switch constantly, because if the Sandy Shocks Terras, you can just click Volt Switch free every turn.
I suppose.
And then you can go into like Teleon or Gallade or something. But yeah, I think it's definitely a toss-up. Now, record-wise, it's not a toss-up, but you never know.
Yeah, I think this will be tough because it really just depends. This is a really big prediction game because Queen does have a way to win this, but the problem is that the sets that Queen has to run are pretty obvious for how to win.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think anything that Queen can bring would be surprising. It would just be based on predictions.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Dark Rafter here, just based on previous prediction. Like prediction heavy matchups haven't been in Queen's favor, so I'm gonna go Dark Rafter. And given that Dark Rafter will probably win, I'll say 4-0 then.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Dark Rafter as well. I don't want to do another 5-0, so and you did 4-0, so I'll do 3-0.
Okay.
But honestly, I do hope Queen wins this one because
I think it'd be a good morale booster.
yeah, and I think it's needed here, definitely.
Yep.
All right, let's go on to the next one here.
Next,
Chungus versus Ace Titanium.
all right, this is odd because these are the two teams that we voted on, and they didn't win their games, not last week, but just before.
Mhm.
Chungus did win his game that it was pretty free last week. What was his game last week? Oh yeah, it was against Lucas because that game ended up being played with the new guy with the old team, I do believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, by the way, that matchup, even if Lucas did play, was still a Chungus' favor. This one I'm not entirely sure about. It's the matchup between the Hisuian Mons of like which is going to be better against their team. Honestly, I could easily see a max defense like Rocky Helmet Gastrodon being the answer to Samurott.
Yeah.
Or even just a Zoom roll as well, because ball stabs get resisted by a Zoom roll.
Mm-hmm. And then you can go Sap Sipper for the Leaf Blade.
True. Well, Samurai doesn't get Leaf Blade.
Does it not?
I didn't think it gets Leaf Blade. It'd be dumb if it did. No, it doesn't.
What? But it has it. Whatever. Okay.
No, it gets Sacred Sword though, and it gets Aerial Snare / gets Night / obviously.
I swear Samurai used to get it though.
No, not even normal one got it.
Okay.
All right. So let's see here. What are the other threats on Chungus' team? Espeon could put some work in. Kind of gets walled by Craggle, but could put some work in. Moltres. Again, a Azumarill. Like, I think Azumarill Thick Fat here is just really good.
Yeah.
Because it walls Samurott and Moltres pretty reliably. Which is really nice. And then Chungus doesn't really have a reliable way of killing Salazzle because nothing on his team is fast enough to punish it. His cycles are faster than Salazzle. Salazzle is 117, Cyclozar is 121. Yeah, so Cyclozar is faster, but doesn't have a ground type move to hit Salazzle. It does have Draco though, but still. So that's kind of the only win there. Toxic's pretty free here. Dashbon isn't just the free switch into the fire type anymore because of the poison secondary. This is really going to come up to if Primate can stack and win, I think. Because I can see Primate Terra Ghosts if he gets hit. Like, I think Bulk Up, Rage Fist, Rest Talk has to show up. No normal type. Terra normal Luxray is pretty like there. So that is something that Ace could try to do. But like honestly, I think it's gonna be rough. What do you think here?
I feel like yeah, I think it's gonna be rough, but there is one thing that could be really good here, and that's Espeon. Espeon with like if it goes some sort of setup stored power set, and you can go Terra, so you can be even stronger. You can have coverage move for like Fortress if you need it. So you can go like Fire or something like that. Primate's extremely good. I think the Terras on Chungus' team work do I want to say work a little better? I kind of want to say work a little
I don't
better.
think Espeon breaks Bravery though,
Ah.
because Chungus doesn't have a defensive dark type. He has Samurott, and from the games that I've watched from Chungus, he likes using Samurott early, and usually Samurott dies early. Which means as soon as Samurott dies, Bravery is just free with setup and Esperwing. So it literally, I think this game literally comes down to, can Primate set up before Bravery sets up, or before his team dies? Just straight up to Ace's team, right?
So you telling me Ace is gonna win here?
Am I actually betting on this man after he lost me my lock?
Are you sure about that? You should lock again.
Not on this match. But you know what? I am going to go Ace. You better not let me down twice in a row, or I'm never voting for you ever again.
Oh.
And I don't care how good your matchup was. I think it's Bravery, and I think it's going to be 2-0. This is not clean.
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking about Ace as well, but I know Chungus, and I know that Chungus is gonna bring some crazy set like Billy Drum Quilladin or something. I don't know, but
God, I really hope that's not what shows up. That would be so fucking troll.
I'm gonna go with Chungus here. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go to 2-0 as well. Alright, next matchup we have Chris Reed versus DDA. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Do you want me to talk about your matchup?
Yeah, you go first.
Alright, so looking at your matchup. Let's see, does Typhlosion put in work? Well, it's gonna be tough because I do see Meloetta, and it's pretty hard to break, especially if it's AV. It's kind of hard to break. Let's see. Knuckle Stack goes in here as per usual.
As per usual.
Let's see. You have Tinkaton for like Brute Bonnet, so that's pretty solid. If it's fire or ground, that could be a problem. Yeah, but you do have Tauros as well, so I guess you're fine. Honestly, yeah, your matchup looks really good here.
Yeah, I kind of like this matchup. I think this is a lot closer than a few of the other matchups I've had so far. And the only reason why I think it's a little closer is just because, like, it isn't as obvious from just looking on what should win. This isn't just like, oh yeah, I have 3 mons that just destroy everybody. Like, I do have mons that do good work, but it's not gonna be as clean as I would have preferred. But Chris still has the problem that he's had since day one. He has too many mons that he wants to bring to most matches, which means there's always gonna be lost somewhere. I think against me, I think there's a few mons that should come. I think there's a few mons that want to come. And that number is more than 6 combined. It's going to be interesting to see what does and doesn't come. I do think for the most part, I can pretty much prepare for any variation. Obviously, some will be easier than others. But let's hope I roll the dice correctly then, I suppose.
Yeah. It does suck though here that like for Typhlosion's first game on your team, it looks very bad.
That's just because he has a normal type that is defensive. Like, he has a good defensive normal type.
Sure.
And a good defensive water type.
And an Altaria.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be
He
tough.
has good special walls. He doesn't have the best physical walls though.
Yeah.
That is just true across his entire board.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you'll be fine. And do you want to talk more about your changes as well?
Yeah. So as we talked about in the beginning with Exos team, we decided to trade Typhlosions. I've wanted Typhlosion Hisuian since the beginning, so I'm glad I got it. I ended up having to drop. I dropped Spirit Tomb, because I would have had double ghosts. However, I'm considering picking it back up, honestly, because it did so well against Gallade. I didn't realize just how easily it counters Gallade. Um, so I may actually end up picking that back up just for future Gallade answers. But Dunsparce and Dartrix are just kind of like good fillers for spots on the team that's necessary. Since I also dropped Tandem Mass, I mean, I was probably never going to bring it. Dunsparce actually has a chance of showing up to games against teams that I need it for. Serene Grace Body Slam is like a 60% chance to paralyze. And if I really want to guarantee it, I've also got Glare. So like Dunsparce just overall is like pretty nice. Plus now I get to run Eviolate on it. So that is also something pretty nice. It's got a lot of coverage, more than it really should. And it's got good overall things. It's got recovery. It's even got rocks. It's just kind of annoying to kind of fight into. There's a lot of ways to kind of just cripple teams. So that's nice. And then Dartrix is kind of just like a secondary removal. It's got like defog and knockoff and roosts, so it can kind of just be there if I need it to be there. And it probably won't come to most games, but if I want an alternative to my grass type, if I want a more traditional grass type that can actually switch into water type moves, for example, or if I want a grass type that is immune to ground instead of just resistant for whatever reason, the Archix is pretty nice. And yeah, but I am considering picking up Spiritomb again, to be honest. I've got one more free agent, so I can't just drop Dunsparce plus Dartrix to pick up Spiritomb again. The only problem would be is that I would lose a normal type, which is not too bad because Narcostack still resists Ghost on its own, so it's not like I wouldn't have a Ghost answer. So I think it would have been fine if that's the case. But overall, yeah, I think the changes were nice. I was never going to be Tandem Mouse, that works out. Spiritomb is probably the biggest loss, but I might just pick that back up.
Yeah, because you also don't have a dark type, which could be annoying.
Yeah, that is probably another thing that's a little bit annoying, is not having a dark type. But psychic type isn't really that much of a problem for the team, because like worst case scenario, I can Terra into dark if it really is a problem for a certain matchup. The beauty about Terra is that like if only one type is a problem, then you're fine. So you're a little bit more flexible in team building.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall it's pretty nice.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so let's go on to the next one here. We're in steel now. We have steering versus crossbow. Quick thing is, steering did get a change. Well, two technically, but Murkrow for Morgrim. And then since Murkrow was a Terra Captain, it was swapped to Sliggoo Hisuian.
Oh, just a flat upgrade. Murkrow was not doing too much on this team. Morgrim does. And Sliggoo Hisuian is just straight up a better Terra Captain.
And then there's Jigglypuff still.
It could come to a game. So,
No.
like, Jigglypuff is strictly there for one reason and one reason only. It
Rocks.
is for a matchup against an offensive ghost type. Like Zora Hisuian. Interesting.
Speaking of...
Funny how that works out. But yeah, like Jigglypuff is, it's an Eviolite user, and it's decent into ghost types for the most part. That's the only reason you bring it. There's another. Unfortunately, it's not in this gen, but there's a Porygon, like the original Porygon, is actually very often used as a Spectrier, low tier, or not low tier, but a really cheap Spectrier counter.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't die to Spectrier ever. And you can just recover and do whatever you want. I don't know what Jigglypuff can do. I assume it is have recovery. I assume so. I can take a look real quick. Um. So, do recovery. I mean, it's got wish, so it's still a wish passer. So I mean, it does technically have recovery. With a 115 HP stat, it can still do that. It's got encore, so you can't really set up on it. It's even got trapping moves plus Parasong if you want to do that. Assuming that people learned how to stay in the last tournament. It can do things if necessary. But does it live Zora Kasuyan? Now that is the question I want. But you can go ahead while I look at this up.
Well, okay. Let me see here. We have... See, okay. I like Zoroark Hisuian here. I just feel like it spams, like, Shadow Ball. I know you said Jigglypuff, but, like... And, like, Morgrim's here, too, as well. And honestly, Morgrim, if it's Spademic, it could take it. But, man, if this thing can nasty plot up, it's free.
Oh my god. So, Jigglypuff it takes 34 to 40 from a max attack or max special attack modest Zoroark, and hits it harder with Dark Pulse, non-investment.
I don't like that.
That's really funny.
I don't like that at all.
That's really fucking funny. That's so funny. And because Jigglypuff has Encore, Zoroark can never set up on Jigglypuff. And because it never Katuko, you don't even have to wish Protect. You can just wish and then click Dark Pulse.
No. You just keep clicking Calm Mind on Jigglypuff and win.
Oh my god, you could. I mean, Jigglypuff could also just go Light Screen. It could, like, trap it in and then Parasol. Like, why does this why is every low tier Eviolite fucking normal type just counter ghost types? Why is this the bane of ghost types existence? I don't get it. But yeah, Zoroark can't break it. I mean, Zoroark, okay, here's the one upset. Zoroark is a ghost type with knockoff. But that means it's forced to run knockoff to break Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
Which you should not have to run knockoff to break Jigglypuff.
Oh yeah. Well.
And like even with Eviolite gone, like yeah, you Tuco now, but only modest. If you're timid, you don't guarantee Tuco still.
Alright, I'm done talking about Jigglypuff. I'm done with that. It's too much. It's probably not even coming. Let's be honest.
I mean, what else is Stewie gonna bring? Fucking Zoroark.
What do you mean?
I guess you could arguably bring what, like Saltfast Electros. That's Saltfast Electros takes it even better. Okay.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know why you'd ever bring.
I mean, it takes it better, but not by much.
Well. Looking at other Pokemon on the team, let's see. Gallade always puts in work, so...
Dude, nothing switches into Gallade! Literally nothing switches into Gallade. Like, Palossand is your switch in. You have two ghost types, so Gallade is just gonna go Terra Dark and click buttons. And there's nothing you can do. Because you have a Palossand, a Delphox, and a Zoroark who all will just die to fucking Terra Dark Night Slash.
Chestnut.
I mean, Chestnut dies to Psycho Cut.
No.
Yes. There's no way he doesn't die to Psycho Cut.
It's Terra.
You still keep stab. Oh, you mean Terra Chestnut?
Yeah, you go Terra Dark, and then...
For the close combat?
No. But you Terra Dark... No, you Terra Dark on the incoming Psycho Cut, and then you knock him out.
With what? After he's Terra? Maybe you can close combat then? But
yeah.
Just I can't touch Gallade until Gallade Terras.
Alright, well, what about... Who's on Terra? What about Ghost?
Terra Ghost Gallade? Or Terra Ghost Chestnut?
No. Terra Ghost Gallade.
Oh, Terra Ghost Gallade? It loses the Zoroark.
Never mind. That was a bad idea. Anyways,
Yeah, I think Terra Gallade is very, very impressive here. because Scarf Glade is still faster than Scarf Pacimian. So, like, that's not even a problem. Everything dies to Toxic Salazol. Fucking Chestnut tries to break Gastrodon, but then you switch into like Scyther or Electros, and then they U-turn out. And this is like a weird situation where I literally don't see a win con for Cross. I think Steering wins like 5-0. Like this is.
Oh my god.
This is oppressive.
Okay.
I think the only way Steering loses is if he gets hacks out of his brains.
Speaking of, I think Crossbow's gonna hack him, so I'm gonna go Crossbow.
You're legit going Crossbow here?
Yes.
No, actually, do it. Please.
I'm doing it. I want to chase this up. Come on.
Yes, let's fucking do this. Give me my lead back. Thank you.
Crossbow, and I'm gonna go with a 3-0, but also I just remembered we didn't do anything for your team, your matchup. So.
Oh, you're right.
So we'll go back for a second. What do you think you're gonna do here?
I mean, I think I'm gonna win. But it won't be clean, so I'll just say 3-0.
Okay, and I will go with you as well because I'm not crazy. And I will go with a 4-0.
Because I'm not crazy.
The matchup, man. It's the matchup. Alright, skipping along here. We got Elevated versus Adrian.
I'm not gonna lie, I still don't know how Adrian has a positive score right now. Like, I still really hate Adrian's team.
Yo, Florigato is pretty good.
And on that note, how in the world is fucking Elevated 0-3? Like, the Elevated team looks so good.
Yeah.
Adrian's team looks so bad.
Yep.
But Adrian's team is 2-1 and Elevated is fucking 0-3. I don't know.
I think it's luck.
We think it's luck?
I think it's luck.
Well, this is rough, because, like, I'm just gonna say Elevated wins again, but, like...
Are you sure about that?
Is he gonna throw? I don't know.
Because, I don't know, man, that's risky.
Maybe I have to build his team for him, then he'll be fine.
That's it.
Alright, so let's be real here. What does Adrian have to do to win this game?
Adrian has to get lucky. What do
you... I don't even know how Adrian won most of his games.
Luck! I'm literally not joking. Marshy, I think, got powered like 4 times in a row
Nice.
versus him. And then, like, I don't even know what happened the other game. But
Is this the new DDA luck person? Do they inherit it?
There's no way. There's no way.
We get all the way to the finals just by hacking everybody.
Oh, God. Well, there's a Klefki, so, you know.
I mean, yeah, it's a Klefki and an Umbreon. Like, this team's like, haha!
Yeah.
You will always be paralyzed. Not gonna lie, though, speaking of paralyzing, doesn't, like, Electric and Talion just go ham here?
Electric Inteleon.
Water, ice, electric.
Nah. Actually, well.
I mean, the only thing that can actually try to kill you is Mudstail, which dies to your Water Stab still. And the Electric Stab makes it to where... I mean, like, he doesn't even have a way to break water types, to be fair. His water breaker is Florigato. Ooh. Right? I mean, Second Star still does the Ice Beam.
Yeah.
Klefki, and the reason why you go Electric is that way when the Klefki comes in to Thunder Wave you just fucking click Focus Energy and Terra Electric, and now you crit with non-para. And then you just win.
Nah, AV Tauros.
AV Tauros.
Yeah.
Should still die to, like, crit Air Slash, though.
I don't think it dies. I think it lives one. And they can Earthquake and knock it out.
You think it lives one?
I feel like it barely lives.
let's calc this. All right, so let's
Now
so
don't count no
not
HP.
no HP. So we'll do max HP, max SPDEF, SPDEF nature, assault vest, right?
Yeah, the
It's an
bulky
air
cat.
slash,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Crit.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now we need that sniper.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
He lived one.
I told you.
Now, with living one, he does not live more than one.
Exactly. That's all you need, though. That's all you need.
Okay. But what does he hit it with? He also doesn't live a switch into a hydro pump into air slash.
Well,
By the way, like
see,
non-crit hydro pump into crit air slash. He just
this
does not
is
live.
the thing, though.
Oh
He
my god,
can't.
crit hydro pump actually does more than air slash.
Well, yeah, because it's stab and everything.
Yeah, because the
I don't think that like you can't run 5 moves. You can't have focus energy, ice beam, hydro pump, Terra Blast, and
you don't
air
need
slash.
Terra Blast though. That's the problem. Nothing on his team is actually weak to electric, other than Quillfish. But
Which
you don't
you
really
kind of
need.
need it.
You don't really need it. Quillfish isn't really. Is Quillfish realistically taking a crit?
Yes.
Fucking, there's no way he's taking it.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna go
Oh,
Spadef
here
Quill.
we go. This is just gonna be the whole video.
he he takes one, only one.
See, thanks, one. I told
He
you.
doesn't do any damage.
That's
Can't Thunderwave because you're electric.
that's true.
So like my point still stands. He doesn't have a way to break Electric Inteleon.
Wait,
Now,
does a
here's the
Violite
problem.
work with Quillfish? Regular?
No, it works with Quillfish Hasui.
Ah, man, that's dumb.
Unfortunate, because Quillfish didn't get the evolution. His variant got the evolution.
Damn.
It's not like the Bishop treatment because Bishop literally evolves into King Gambit.
Yeah.
Well, the one problem with this is that if Adrian watches this, he's gonna have to try to prep something for Electric Inteleon, and then it's just not gonna be Electric Inteleon. He's gonna lose.
So then there you go.
Oh, accident.
Yeah.
If you lose again, I think you're actually out of playoffs if you lose.
Oh no.
Right, right? There's only 7. Wait, there's only 7 weeks. So literally, he has to win these 4 matches to get into playoffs. I do believe.
Okay. So do you believe?
Right? I do believe, yeah. Because assuming it's Steering and Soul, because they're both 3-0. Assuming they win like 2 more games, because you need 5 wins to guarantee to be in playoffs. So if they win 2 more games with the next 4 weeks, they're guaranteed. So that's the top 2 spots gone. So literally, you're only fighting for 2 more spots between 6 teams, and elevated. You have no wins so far, and so you literally have to win all your games basically. So this is where you start. This is where you start.
Okay. So then, what's your scoring here?
Elevated wins this game 1-0 because he gets taxed to the ground, but he still comes out on top.
I am so glad you said 1-0 because I already wrote down Adrian 1-0. All right, let's go on to the next game. This isn't even the last one. How long has this been? It's been 48 minutes.
Not bad.
All right, we got Mustang versus Marshy. Okay. So first thing I see, as usual, Jolteon Ice is pretty crazy here.
Yeah, but here's the problem. He actually has a defensive wall. In fact, he has 2 defensive walls. Marshy has Slowbro Galar and a Meloetta.
Yeah, that's true.
Both of which could pretty much wall Jolteon. There's no one type that can hit both. Because you can't do Ghost because of Meloetta, and you can't do Dark because Slowbro is actually not weak to Dark.
What?
I'm pretty sure Poison resists it.
No, it's weak to Dark.
Oh, am I tripping? I might be tripping. It's even on my team. Yeah, no, it is. Well, then I guess you could do Dark, theoretically, but it doesn't Hoku either one of them.
It actually would stop Prankster on Grafia as well with Encore, so you could actually just Calm Mind up in front of it.
True. Okay.
That's ooh. Hold on. Let me write
so
this down.
we figured it out. We figured it out. Terra Dark Jolteon. All right.
Yeah.
So now here's the problem. Who are you setting up on?
Well, you set up. Uh, Graphite.
I mean, okay. So here's the thing, right? I mean, I guess you can set up on Graphite, but like, you can't set up on Samurott because like you either want to kill it or it's just gonna kill you or just screw it, right? So you can't set up. You can't set up on Donphan because you can't actually. Oh, you can't actually break defensive Donphan, can you? Like if it's Assault Vest Donphan, if you're just Terra Dark, you can't break it until you're like +2. Maybe +1, but
Yeah,
but
but
hit it hard. You're gonna have to hit it with Terra Blast, so it's an 80 base power move, which is not that hard hitting.
I guess. I mean, well, obviously you don't like. You don't try to set up when it's at 100%. Like you weaken it with something.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Mustane's changes, by the way, were just bad. I'm gonna be honest, my boy. I don't know what you're doing. You're cooking some something that doesn't smell good in this kitchen.
Yeah, like who drafts Dunsparce? Oh my god.
No. But the problem is that okay, let's literally look them 1-to-1. Ursaring versus Dunsparce. Ursaring's tankier. Ursaring gets Gust while asleep, so Rest Talk's even better. And Ursaring has better stats. What Dunsparce has is it has better para, but it doesn't hit nearly as hard. So like it's more defensive, correct, but it's still like having a free Rest Talk Gutsmon is pretty nice. Then you have Go-Go versus Dartrix. Dartrix has recovery. Dartrix has I guess Go-Go has milk drink. But Dartrix has removal, which this team really needed because this team literally doesn't have a remover now.
Oh god! Oh no!
This team does not have a single remover.
Oh no!
Halloween is your hazard, like answer, and you dropped 2 removers for 0.
Yo, but he got Satado though.
Yeah, like I get like his point. Like he wanted a better Dark type, but Sableye arguably is better than Persian.
Oh yeah.
Sableye's kept knockoff. Sableye has Prankster with Willow and Recover. It has screens.
Yep.
It has bullshit.
Yep.
Persian has nothing but Parting Shot. That's the only thing he gained was Parting Shot.
I think it had Parting Shot, didn't it?
It already had Parting Shot.
Yeah.
It didn't gain it this season. It only lost things. Persian only got worse. Yeah. I think 11 points is super high for this Persian.
I don't think we moved it, so yeah.
Yeah, we did not move it. It should go down the next season. But regardless, like, Ursaring dropped 4 mons that could show up to a game to pick up 4 mons that should never come to a game.
Yeah, it's
arguably.
It's bad because like Sableye is better, like you said, and like I just don't. It baffles me that you made these changes because you're definitely like you're a good battler. I don't know what happened here. I don't.
I have to assume this was a bet and that he's actually making money off of this trade.
Ah, yes.
That's the only way that you could convince me that this was what he did. Or he's pretending to be bad at battling so that he gets demoted to Aggron so he can wreak havoc again like he did last season.
Right.
But yeah, I think Marshy wins this. Yeah, Jolteon can be annoying, but you have no Hes removal. And Jolteon's a little bit too pressured to do things on this team. You also can't bring the bottom 4 mons, so your top 6 is confirmed.
You can bring Persian, and it's not the worst mon here. It's just
yeah, but it doesn't do anything.
Party shots,
that's it. Yeah, party shots and that's it.
No.
Yeah, party shots and that's it. Don't pretend it is nothing doing anything else.
All right. Well.
Yeah, I think Marshy wins this, and I think this is like a 4-0, pretty clean.
Well, okay.
I think this is a pretty clean game.
That's fair. I'm gonna go with a 2-0 on Marshy. I think you're right. I do think Marshy can win this. It honestly, I think it's gonna be a little closer, mainly because there are mons on Mustang's team that could set up and take a lot of Mons out before Marshy wins, but I still think Marshy does win. Alright, let's go on to the next one, which is the last one. We got Solo versus Kyrak.
Well, this should be this is the fastest one. Solo wins this. 5-0.
Oh boy.
And lock.
Yeah, figured. Alright. I'm gonna have to help Kyrak prep for this one.
Alright, so let's go over this matchup. Kyrak has a better team. Kyrak should win this game. Kyrak will throw this game. That is my analysis. Like, okay, so Kyrak's a nice guy and all right, but this man is the most fickle when it comes to understanding what he wants to do in a game. Like, nerves is really something that really hurts Kyrak. And, like, he arguably has one of the best teams in the league currently.
Mm-hmm.
And he is still doesn't know what he wants to do in most games. Which, I get the aspect of you have too much good mons to bring to what to bring. But, like, I don't know. It's rough to say. I would take this team in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And be undefeated.
Yeah. I completely agree. Because the thing is, right, I'm so jealous of his team. He has half the Mons I wanted to draft.
I know, right?
And it's like, and he's doing bad, and I feel like when he loses a Mon, he just completely flips his table, and he's like, I lost. It's like, what the...
Bro, like a single crit flips table.
Seriously, or like he gets fully parried, he's like, I'm done.
And then he just... I 100% believe as soon as he loses a mod or gets crit, he goes online, searches up auto clicker, and then fucking just sets it up and just lets it run.
I really want to vote for Kyrak to win, but I don't think he's gonna win.
I like, here's the thing. I could make Kyrak's entire team, and he would still somehow find a way to throw.
Yeah.
But, like, here's, like, I feel bad for bashing on the man, but, like, it's not a thing of, like, this has just happened sometimes. This is a matter of, like, he doesn't feel like he can win. And if he doesn't feel like he can win, he will find a way to lose.
Yeah, he gets in his head.
Regardless if he should or not. Like, I think what would be best for Kyrak, if he just, like, took a deep breath, put some, like, meditation zen music on, close chat out, don't even look at the fucking, like, crits or non-crits, and just try to focus on what you're doing. Because I feel like if long as Kyrak just focuses and stops caring about what's going on, he would win any game. Because he gets away with the strongest teams ever. Because, like, I'm literally just like, here's a perfect team on a silver platter. And then he's like, okay, he takes it. And then, like, he's the scariest team in the league. And then, it's sad.
It's
I want this team.
It's basically, it's a matter of mindset, like DDA said, like when he's in the zone, he does well. Like almost every season, when he's winning, he's like, I shouldn't have won that. And then when he loses, he's like, yeah, I knew I was gonna lose that. It's like, get in a better mindset. Like if you flipped your negativity to positivity, I'm sure you would be like on a win streak right now. But it's not happening. That being said, I really do want to vote for you, Kyrak, and like I can see a way that you have a way to win this, but I also think that Solo has too many priority uses for Cloister to sweep. So because of that, I'm gonna have to give Solo a. I'm gonna go 4-0. I'm not locking on this one because I feel like that's a little. I want Kyrak to win this one, so I don't want to lock.
I do want Kyrak to win this. I think Kyrak should have won every game that he's lost so far.
Yep. I didn't lock yet, so I'll just go back real quick. I feel weird for thinking about locking on myself, so I'm not gonna do it.
You're not allowed to.
Are we not allowed to?
Yeah, you didn't lock on yourself.
No. Is that in the rules? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to lock on your own matchups.
I thought it was you're not allowed to lock on your opponent for the matchup because then you just throw and get the point.
No. You're not allowed to lock on the matchup itself, regardless of who you're voting for.
All right, that's fair.
Because like in that the same purpose of you vote for them and then you throw, like it could just be a thing like, well, if you lock on yourself, it literally is you are deciding if you get extra points or not. So it like locks should not be in your like locks should never be something that you can influence regardless of how good or bad.
I don't know, because if I lose, it's a double negative. Like I'm still trying my hardest in the game. It's not like, oh, because I locked, I'm gonna try harder to try to win. Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Then I'll just go for. I don't want to lock on you again because
don't lock on me again. It's not as obvious of a win matchup.
Yeah, there's a lot of matches that I think are gonna be close. But I do think Dark Crafter. I'm gonna lock on Dark Crafter here.
Imagine locking against Queen twice in a row.
All right, listen. That's not. Look, what else am I gonna lock on here? This is annoying. I lost like three matches I can't vote on because of the rules. God damn it! All right.
I mean, you could have locked on me again if you wanted to.
I could have, but I also don't. I'm not 100% confident.
I don't think you should. Yeah, I don't think you should either.
Like, I think you could win 100%. I mean, that's why, obviously, I voted with you. But
there's definitely a way I can lose.
Yeah, there's a way. But, yeah, that is it for this week's Pickems. And, yeah, we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.